And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's Tuesday, April the 5th. Oh gosh, that's the start of a new tax year, isn't it, Ollie? How exciting. Get those ISAs in and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, moving on to mining. Let's now look, actually, there were a couple of things yesterday that came out during the day that I think are well worth discussing, Ollie, and I'm sure you had in your mind anyway. But why don't we start off with Atlantic Lithium, which was moving up very sharply yesterday, hit about sort of 62.5p. And then they came out and said that they had appointed Canaccord Genuity as their financial advisor and that various people were in discussions with them. What comments have you got there, Ollie?
Well, no surprises really that people have been looking at Atlantic Lithium to buy it, but also that they're looking at an ASX dual listing, where lithium stocks have done much better than London. I think it's fair to say. So that will probably help to close the gap even more from where it is today.
Yeah, look, it's been a pretty good performance. It's actually off today because people have thought, well, actually, there isn't actually a bid. They're only sort of having possible discussions. So it's actually off 4p today. As you say, I mean, the real star performer on the ASX and the lithium space has been Lake Resources, hasn't it? I mean, I remember we were pushing that round at about 7 cents, Ollie, back in 2016, and people thought we were off our rockers, but today it's $2.50.
Yeah, it was a cycle too early for that, but no, it's done brilliantly well, and obviously there's a bit of crossover between the management teams, and it has been a real star with the acceptance of DLE as a competing technology, and all of those sort of similar stocks, Vulcan, Lake, have done extremely well in this cycle, as the brines and hard rock on their own simply weren't going to be enough to add supply in. But now the valuation picture for those stocks is very different, and the technologies are much more advanced, but they are yet to be commercially proven. So the risk reward is much changed for those companies taking that approach.
Yeah. As you say, there is crossover of management there as well. Stu has done exceptionally well in both. Anyway, let's also move. The other bit of news I wanted to talk about, which came out yesterday, was Cornish Tin launched their crowdfunding. I think it was, they sort of had £600,000 already in the bag, and then they sort of launched the crowdfunding with a view to taking up to 900,000 and closed it sort of within hours, didn't they, really? And at a valuation of over 20 million. I think was it 21.6 million, which makes Tungsten West look so cheap.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I think those numbers were right. Another quick raise for Cornish projects, not quite as fast as Cornish Lithium's 10 minutes, but still impressive nonetheless.
I mean, I suppose the question really is crowdfunding the right way to be funding mining projects? And I think most people know that we will be bringing soon Godolphin Exploration, which is a Mark Thompson vehicle for tin and copper down in Cornwall. I mean, the whole place is booming. So it is pretty exciting. And actually, I'm going to be back down there next week, Ollie, looking at some more mining and talking to more mining people. So look, it's a very interesting space. There's a lot of hot money going that way. The skill set obviously is to make sure that you don't get sucked into something that's just hot, but make sure you got your fundamentals right.
Correct.
Anyway, those were the bits from yesterday that I certainly wanted to pick up. What do you got today, Ollie?
Got an announcement from one of our clients in Canada, Sierra Madre Gold and Silver. They've announced they've just started drilling at their second project, La Tigra, in Nayarit, Mexico. So that means drills are turning on both of their projects, which are both in the same state, which actually means that whilst they're waiting for assays to come back from one, they can move the drill rig across. get drilling there, wait for the assays to come back, and then set up their offset holes and next phases of the program with the information from the assays to really make sure they target the best holes that they can in this first phase. This is the first time that Le Tigre has ever been drilled really by modern exploration. But what they've been doing over the last few months to build up those targets is a trenching program, which has delivered some pretty impressive results across a 3.5 kilometer structural corridor. So they've had multiple vein intercepts. So the biggest one is 38 meters at half a gram of gold, and that's from surface. What else we got? 15 meters, 24 meters from 15 meters at 1.5 grams of gold, including 5 meters at 5.5 grams of gold, 23 meters at 1.78 grams gold. All of these with small amounts of silver. So to be hitting these from surface is quite encouraging. And what we'll be looking for in the drill results is for multiple intercepts, as some of these veins are pretty close to each other, and depending on the dip, they should actually be stacked. So what we're looking for in the assays is multiple intercepts from each drill hole.
I mean, it's still, relative to its peer group, it's still a very cheap stock, isn't it? I think it's up about 40% or so since you initiated on it. So obviously it's been a success since your initiation, Ollie.
Well, yeah, 40% from a very low base. So that's relatively easy to do. So the big changes we'll be looking for will come with the results from this drill program. But yeah, very cheap, especially on an EV basis, because they've got about $30 million of cash, and so that fully funds this drill program and probably the next one as well.
And it's a management team, isn't it, that has a really good track record, and in Canada that's really, really important. So I think that's another reason why we are remaining very positive on it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, anything else today, or is that about it?
No, that was about it. It was lots of bitty things out this morning, but I don't think anything to focus on too much.
Yeah, well, it is pretty quiet, and a lot of people seem to have gone off for their Easter holidays already, judging by the number of out-of-office emails that I got yesterday and today. So it'll probably be quiet for the next couple of weeks, I expect, once people enjoy the Easter break. Okay, let's speak again tomorrow then, Ollie.
See you then.